on the Isle of Dogs. I was there to sell apartments to rich Americans that wanted to spend the millennium overlooking the dome, but it never really happened. I've spent the last 20 years dealing with in small boutique agencies in central London through to running large corporate agencies in areas in East London and Essex for large world-known corporations. My co-founder, Solly Strickland, and I started London Lost Real Estate in 2013, which was London's only estate agency dedicated to selling unusual property to the lovely people of London. And it's during that journey that we came up with Go Off Market. You see, estate agents in the high street are facing a lot of change at the moment. They're under attack from different fractions. The industry's got bigger, it's got wider, and there's more people now involved. There's the onset of all the online agents, and they're telling sellers, you don't need a high street agent, you don't need a high street location, you can in fact do it yourself. It's even rumoured by some of them that selling a house is simple as smashing your face into a cake. But we don't believe that's true. We believe the high street is very much here to stay, and it's the high street itself that's changing. That's the bigger change. We're going through a tech revolution. Last one we had was the industrial revolution, and now it's a tech revolution. It's shaping the high street. It's changing what it looks like. It's about experience, it's about entertainment, it's about service, and now the service is at every price point. Getting them things right is how we're moving the high street forward. We believe at Off Market, high street agents are actually at the front of this. For years, for decades, they've had really nice, welcoming offices. They've had really thought out seating areas. They employ a load of tech. Everything out there today is a testament to the amount of tech they want to get involved in. And some of them even give away a variety of free drinks. So we think that because of that, that's why the high street agents not only are ahead of the curve, they're setting the game. And we believe the future, and we call the future the next 10 years, that the high street agent will be here to stay. If you boil estate agency down to its bare basics, you're left with an estate agent's job is connecting someone that wants to buy with someone that wants to sell. It's connecting someone who wants to buy a house with someone that wants to sell a house. It's a simple process. But what's happened is it's all getting lost. It's all getting a little bit more confusing. If you take a buyer's journey, for example, at the moment, like probably everyone here that's obviously bought a property, you would go online, you search through various platforms, you spend hours looking, finding the right property. Once you've done that, you may connect with a few estate agents. Gets a bit tiresome, phoning up, calling about the property, is it still available? You may get lucky. The chances are no, it's gone already, because that estate agency has got a lot of hot buyers that are registered, and he's let them know before they put the property online. The property's sold, that's what happens. So you connect with the agents, you give them your name, your email address, your phone number, do you want a mortgage arranged, do you want a solicitor? It gets a bit boring by estate agent 6 or 7. But what it does do is through that process, you build up a relationship with some of the better agents. And these better agents that know you and know what you're looking for, when they go see a property, they give you a call. They let you know that there's something coming on that matches your needs, and maybe you'll be one of the first people through the door. That's what we're trying to do at Off Market. We're trying to give people a frictionless way in to connect with the high street agent. See, people like people. Believe it or not, sitting next to someone on the tube and accidentally touching their leg won't mean you'll spontaneously combust. People have always needed people, and especially in the journey when they're dealing with something that involves property and it involves information, and they like holding on to it. We call it loaded, not preloaded. And the reason we say that is you understand, or you find out quickly, how dehumanising it is when you're speaking to a chatbot online. Not that chatbots don't have their space, the technology is still pretty young, but you recognise it. People want people loaded with information. They want to speak to someone about their property journey that has their finger on the pulse of everything that's going on. And that's what the local high street has to offer. That's what local high street agents do. And through our platform, that's how we're giving the local high street a way back. People like speed. We put on here yesterday, they like speed, they expect it. We think this has changed since yesterday. We don't think they even expect it. We think now speed is normal. People are touching their phone for a cab to appear. They're touching their phone for a takeaway to appear. They're answering questions and getting feedback delivered in the best way, straight to their phone in a way that they can control the information. They need speed, and they need the speed to be local. And why do they want it to be local? Well, if as a buyer or seller you're moving into an area, you want to do as much research as you can about that area. You want to know everything that's going on in that area. And there is a whole centre of knowledge based in the high street across the high street agents. Off-market allows you to harness this knowledge through your phone speedily, quickly and locally. So we built the platform. We do say it's the world's first property platform with no property on it because we believe it is. Property is about connections. As we said, it's being connected with the right people. So we believe you should be able to, in the early stages, when you're thinking of buying and selling, maybe you're talking to your partner, your friends, people at work, you download the app. You enter a few basic details. In a couple of seconds, the app then connects you automatically with the best high street agents in the area you're looking to move into. They don't have your email address, they don't have your phone number. They have your name and some basic details about your search. This way you're in control. You control the flow. You can ask them questions about the property market. You can ask them where your property sits in real time. What are the buyers like? And we find with this frictionless way in and this easy connectivity with all the agents, you're able to cross-shop. When we started thinking about this in 2014, Solly and I looked at our industry and we looked at similarities where this happens. And we realised this has always happened. There's always been a list of hot buyers. I'm old enough to remember the hot buyers in your back pocket. But what's changed is the world's moved forward. All we're doing is augmenting an existing channel through tech to make it easier for everyone to access that. I'd like to play you a quick video.
You want to move house. The old way to buy a new home in 2017 was to go online, search through numerous websites, find a number of possible properties, contact loads of estate agents, receive tons of emails, texts, phone calls that leave you uncertain, confused and stressed. And that perfect property has been sold last week to someone else. Now in 2018 you can go somewhere new, where you go first. Go off market.
So what we wanted to do was to show everyone that there's this space that's existed, there's this space that's always existed, and this is the undecided market space. This is the buyer and seller a little bit further downstream from when they've hit all the portals, when they're thinking of buying and selling. And we wanted to give these people, from the larger houses to the smaller houses to the mums and dads of Middle England, we wanted to give them a dashboard for the first time that controls their property journey from the point they think about it through to the point that they find a property. So once they come in and they've entered the details and they're registered, they start chatting with the agents. They see a list of the agents on there, a photo of the agent, some basic details and some bullet points. It's all in a familiar setting, it's all very much like chat messaging, it's something they're very much used to. And here we have examples of Chris. Chris is looking to sell a property. Chris has come on and he's speaking to one of the agents that we have already on the platform called Hacken. Hacken works for a company called Tattlers in North London, and Hacken's chatting backwards and forwards with Chris, just remotely, finding out what Chris is doing with the property journey. Chris is saying that he had his property valued a little while ago, back in October. What's the market like now? Hacken's coming back. He's showing houses are moving quicker than flats, but yours is a 4-bed, so that will appeal to families. This is local knowledge, this is instant feedback. Chris has only just downloaded the app and already he's getting a real flavour for where his property sits in the property market. Hacken goes on to tell him that they've had a great March. Again, local knowledge, speedily response, people liking people. And if you're looking to sell, let's take it a bit further. And hopefully Chris will go off and he'll do the same with the other agents on the platform and hopefully get the same results. And within 5 minutes of opening the app, he can see where his property sits in the market today. Here we have a copy from Miriam. Miriam works for a company in Bracewells, again in North London. Miriam's talking to Amy. Amy's looking to move to N10 and N8. And Miriam's slowly talking to her. They're farming the leads. This is early stage. This is what estate agents need. They need these conversations. They're talk to anyone that's got a front door or wants to walk through a front door, whether they're looking now, in 3 months' time, or in 6 months' time, because this increases their pipeline. We like to think about it when we talk about Web 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. Back in the day in the 1990s, adding the search bar to our website was Estate Agents 1.0, and it was really exciting. Someone could come on and search for a property, and it was great. Kind of changed in the early 2000s with the online portals coming on, and that was our website 2.0. Estate Agents created all the content. This content created vast amount of traffic for these portals, which these portals then charge the agents to access the traffic they'd created. We wanted to move that on now to 3.0, where we believe content is created by both sides, where conversations, the chats are happening. Buyers and sellers are finding out the information they need on their property, and agents are accessing people who are going to turn into a fee. Miriam couldn't find anything she was looking for. She was finding it frustrating, so Amy. So she goes through to say that she's looking for a 2-bed in Crouch End, and her property journey with Miriam has begun, and they come off. We're launched and we're live. Great response from estate agents who pay for the model. It's a subscription-based model. We're in E17 and E10 last September for our technological test. Went really well. We was really encouraged. A lot of people coming onto the site, a lot of app downloads, a lot of people finding a new way to actually search for a property, the frictionless, easy way in, and avoiding the noise that's created by the portals. The agents like it because we ask the buyers and sellers some questions when the leads are coming through and they're talking to them. It's over to them to qualify them. Once they've had 2 or 3 chats, we see our job as done. We've introduced you to someone with a front door or someone that wants to walk through a front door. We're now also live in Muswell Hill, Crouch End and East Finchley. We plan to roll out across the rest of North London in the next couple of months, and then we have a launch happening in Camberwell and Brixton planned just after the summer. Within the next 2 years, we hope to be within the whole of the inside of the M25. There's 4,800 agencies inside the M25. We want 35%. We want the top agents, because it's the agents behind off-market that will make the product work. It's not the product. We won't hear about people talking about this because of how great we are. It'll be about the agencies behind it that make it happen. I'd like to thank you all for listening to me today, being the first one on stage. I'm not nervous. And if anyone wants to talk about it or has any questions, please meet me afterwards. Thank you.